Good morning, students. In the last class, we have learnt about the phylum Chordata. In that, we have learnt that all chordates possess three fundamental distinct features at some stages of their life cycle. So, what are the important fundamental characteristic features? Means presence of rod-like notochord and presence of dorso-hollow nerve cord and presence of pharyngeal gill slits. So, these are the three fundamental features which is present in all chordates, and apart from that we have seen many features, and presence of tail is also one of the characteristic features of chordates. And in today's class we are going to see the classification of chordates. So phylum Chordata is classified into three subphylum. So the phylum Chordata is classified into three subphylum. They are Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. So these are the classification of phylum Chordata. So phylum Chordata is divided into or classified into subphylum Urochordata, subphylum Cephalochordata and subphylum Vertebrata. First we will see about the subphylum Urochordata, and it is otherwise called as tunicata. Ura means tail and chord means notochord. So these animals possess the notochord in the larval stage, and that too in the tail region. So only the name Urochordata. So these animals possess notochord only during the larval stage, and that too in the tail region. So these animals are marine and they are commonly called as sea squids. They are commonly called as sea squids. And here you can able to see some of the examples of Urochordata, Ascidia, Salpa, Doliolum. So these are the examples of Urochordata. So mostly they are sessile. Sessile means they get attached. These organisms get attached on the rocks or coral reefs. Some are free living, that is pelagic, and some animals live alone, that is solitary, and some animal live in groups, that is called as colonial forms. And if you take the body is unsegmented. So the bodies do not have any segments and they are covered by a test or tunic. So test or tunic means it is a rubbery outer coat which covers the body of the organism. So that is called as test or tunic. So hence the name tunicates. The adult forms are sac-like. Coelom, that is body cavity, is absent but has an atrial cavity surrounding the pharynx. So surrounding the pharynx, atrial cavity is present but true body cavity is absent. And notochord is present only in the tail region of the larval stage, hence the name Urochordata. So why the name Urochordata means in these animals the notochord is present only during the larval stage, and that too in the tail region. So when this larva undergoes metamorphosis, the tail is lost in the adult. So when the tail is lost, automatically the notochord is also lost. So notochord is present only in the larval stage. Alimentary canal is complete and circulatory system is of open type. So if you take the alimentary canal, that is the digestive system is very well developed, and circulatory system is of open type. That means the blood flows freely in the open spaces, that is sinus. The heart is ventral and tubular. So heart is ventral and tubular type. Respiration is carried through gill slits or clubs. So these animals, since they are aquatic, respiration is through gill slits or clubs. Dorsal tubular nerve cord is present only in the larval stage, and then it is replaced by a single dorsal ganglion in the adults. So if you take the nerve cord, so dorsal tubular nerve cord is present only during the larval stage. So both notochord as well as the nerve cord is present only during the larval stage. So the nerve cord is replaced by a single dorsal ganglion in the adults. And these animals are mostly hermaphrodites. So what do you mean by hermaphrodites? There is no separate male and female organism. Both the male and female sex organs are present in the same individual. So it is called as hermaphrodites. Development is indirect. That means there is the larval stage. So it includes a free swimming tadpole larva with chordate characters. And retrogressive metamorphosis is seen. So what do you mean by retrogressive metamorphosis? Means during larval stage it possesses some advanced characters, but these advanced characters are totally changed or lost during the adult stage. That is called as retrogressive metamorphosis. So when the larva changes into adult, so most of the, that is, advanced characters we have already learned, isn't it? The notochord is lost, the tubular nerve cord is lost. So this is called as retrogressive metamorphosis. So this is about the subphylum Urochordata. So the unique features are, so these animals possess notochord only during the larval stage, and that too in the tail region. Hence the name Urochordata. And it is otherwise called as tunicata because the body is covered by a rubbery outcoat called test or tunic. So the name tunicata. And here you can able to see the, that is, retrogressive metamorphosis. So this is the unique features of the subphylum Urochordata. So example Ascidia, Salpa and Doliolum. Next we will see about the subphylum Cephalochordata. So subphylum Cephalochordata. Cephalo means head, chordata means cord, that is notochord. So these organisms possess the notochord from the anterior end to the posterior end, and it possesses the notochord throughout its life. So the name Cephalochordata. So here the organism possesses the notochord from the anterior end to the posterior end, that is from the head to the tail region. So the cephalochordates are marine forms found in shallow waters. So they are found in the shallow waters and they lead a burrowing mode of life. So they make burrows on the seabed and they will be living in that burrows. So they lead a burrowing mode of life. They are small. So they are very small fish-like coelomates, forms with chordate characters. So they possess all the chordate characters such as the presence of notochord, dorsal tubular nerve cord and pharyngeal slits throughout their life. So they possess all these chordate characteristics throughout their life. And here you can able to see the closed type of circulatory system. So these animals have closed type of circulatory system. That means the blood flows in the blood vessels. And there is no heart. So closed type of blood vessel is there. There is blood vessels are there, but there is no heart. Excretion is by protonephridia. So excretion is carried out by the protonephridia. So what is protonephridia means? They are very, very primitive excretory structures. Okay, that is a network of tubules. Protonephridia means a network of tubules which is mainly for excretion. So this type of nephridia you can able to see in the primitive organisms. Sexes are separate, that is separate male and separate female. Fertilization is external, that is takes place outside the body. And development is indirect, means it includes a free swimming larva. So example is Cephalochordata as Amphioxus. That is example Branchiostoma amphioxus, or it is otherwise called as lancelet. So the common name for amphioxus is lancelet. Here you can able to see the cephalochordates possess the notochord from the anterior, that is from the head region till the tail region, and nerve cord is also present, and pharyngeal gill slits are present. So the unique features of the, that is phylum Cephalochordata is they possess the notochord from head to tail region, and they possess all the chordate characters, that is presence of notochord, presence of nerve cord and pharyngeal gill slits throughout their life. So subphylum Vertebrata. So vertebrates means backbone. Vertebrates are also called as higher chordates. So they are called as the higher or the advanced chordates, and they possess the notochord only during the embryonic stage. So in case of vertebrates, the notochord is present only during the embryonic stage, and later this notochord is replaced by a cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in the adult. So during embryonic stage only these animals possess the notochord, and later this notochord is replaced by a cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in the adult. Hence all vertebrates comes under chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. So all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. Vertebrates possess paired appendages such as fins or limbs. Appendages means they are locomotory structures. So vertebrates possess the paired appendages such as fins or limbs. And if you take the skin, it is covered by a protective skeleton. So body is covered by a protective skeleton comprising of scales, feathers, hairs, claws, nails, etc. So in some animals like fishes, the body is covered by scales, and some animals like birds, the body is covered with feathers. And if you take the mammals, the body is covered with hairs, and if you take the reptiles, and the body is covered with claws. The exoskeleton is claws and nails. So these are the protective skeleton. Next, respiration is aerobic through gills, skin, buccopharyngeal cavity and lungs. So if you take the aquatic animals, they respire mainly through the gills, and if you take the terrestrial animals, they respire through the lungs. Vertebrates have a ventral muscular heart with 2, 3 or 4 chambers. So in some vertebrates the heart is 2 chambered, and in some other vertebrates they are 3 or 4 chambered. If you take human, we have 4 chamber heart. Now all mammals contain the 4 chambers, that is heart is divided into 4 chambers. And if you take some lower animals like reptiles, all this will be having 2 or 3 chamber heart. Next, kidneys for excretion and osmoregulations. So mainly the excretion is carried out by the kidneys. So this is about the subphylum Vertebrata. So the unique features are these animals possess notochord during the embryonic stage, and later this notochord is replaced by a cartilaginous or bony vertebral column. All vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates, and they possess, that is, paired appendages such as fins or limbs, and skin is covered by protective skeletons such as scales, feathers, hairs, claws, nails, etc. Respiration is by skin, gills, buccopharyngeal cavity and lungs. Next we will see the classification of subphylum Vertebrata. So again the subphylum Vertebrata is divided into 2 divisions. One is Agnatha and another one is Gnathostomata. So the subphylum Vertebrata is divided into 2 divisions, Agnatha and Gnathostomata. So based on the presence or absence of jaw in their mouth, the subphylum Vertebrata is classified into 2 divisions, Agnatha and Gnathostomata. Agnatha includes the jawless fishes like aquatic vertebrates. So they do not, the Agnatha, A means absence, okay, so they do not have jaw in their mouth. So the name Agnatha. So they includes the jawless fish-like aquatic vertebrates without, that is, paired appendages. So in Agnatha, the notochord persists in the adult. So the notochord, they continues till the adult stage, from the larval stage till the adult stage. The notochord persists. Next is the Gnathostomata. So Gnathostomata includes the jawed vertebrates. So these animals have jaw in their mouth, and they also have paired appendages, that is, paired locomotory structures. Here in Gnathostomata, the notochord is replaced partly or wholly by the vertebral column. So in Gnathostomata, the notochord in the embryonic stage is later replaced partly or wholly by the vertebral column. And Agnatha includes one important class, that is Cyclostomata. So under Agnatha, one important class, Cyclostomata. Example for Cyclostomata is Petromyzon. So this is the example of Cyclostomata. So Agnatha means jawless vertebrates and Gnathostomata means jawed vertebrates. And if you take the Gnathostomata, they includes the jawed fishes, that is example pisces. So Gnathostomata includes the jawed fishes, that is fishes which have jaw in their mouth. Example pisces. Pisces means it includes all the fishes. And Tetrapoda. Tetra means four, poda means limbs, that is four limbed. So the Gnathostomata is again classified into pisces and tetrapoda based on their locomotory structures. And tetrapoda, example amphibia, reptilia, aves and mammals. So all these animals have four limbs in their body, hence the name tetrapoda. The Gnathostomata is divided into two superclass. So pisces and tetrapoda are superclass. Next, the superclass pisces includes all fishes which are essentially aquatic forms with paired fins for swimming and gills for respiration. So the superclass pisces includes all the fishes which are aquatic forms and they have paired fins for swimming and also gills for respiration. And the superclass pisces is again divided into two classes, that is chondrichthyes and osteichthyes. So chondrichthyes means they are cartilaginous fishes. Chondri means cartilaginous, ichthyes means fishes. So they are cartilaginous fishes, and osteichthyes means they are bony fishes. Osteo means bone, ichthyes means fish. They are bony fishes. So the superclass pisces is again divided into two classes. Chondrichthyes, that is cartilaginous fishes. Cartilage means they are soft bones. Osteichthyes means they are bony fishes, that is they have a hard bone as a endoskeleton. So this is about the subphylum Vertebrata. So the phylum Chordata is divided into three subphylum. Subphylum Urochordata, subphylum Cephalochordata and subphylum Vertebrata. And another point I want to say, subphylum Urochordata and Cephalochordata are called as Acraniata because they do not have brain box which covers the brain. So they are called as Acraniata, that is absence of cranium. Cranium means brain box. But the subphylum Vertebrata are called as Craniata. Cranium means brain box. So they have brain box, so they are called as Craniata. So till this we will conclude the topic. Thank you.